Hello there guys, and welcome back to episode 12 of Hearts of Iron 4 as the United Kingdom. I'm trying to find a way to sort of break in behind Italy here. They've got so many divisions stuck up here in the mountains. They have got a mountain division and cavalry division. If I could just win this battle and sort of sneak in behind them. Trotsky survives the assassination attempt. After a violent struggle at his Mexico City home earlier today, Leon Trotsky killed a would-be assassin with an ice axe. With the ice axe the man tried to attack him with. The killer has been identified as a Spanish national believed to have been in the employ of the NKVD. Trotsky was once the top lieutenant and heir to the presumptive of Vladimir Lenin. After a failed power struggle, he was forced into exile from the Soviet Union by Joseph Stalin. Speaking to the press, Trotsky denounced the attempt on his life as yet another cowardly plot hatched by Stalin to silence his critics. So let's keep sort of going in here and see. It's so difficult to attack into the mountains. It really, really is. But if we can just find a weakness anywhere along this border, if we can just find a way in, then we've got the potential. And once we can get Italy out of the game, we only need to sort of knock one or two nations out of this war, and it'll make everything else a lot easier for us. So we are sort of holding the line. The Netherlands has already capitulated, but we might be able to sort of help with that. We are losing some battles up here. Again, if we actually had equipment, things would be going a lot better. Africa is in a pretty poor state right now. We are getting some assistance from the US, I think. And again, I'm very undersupplied, which is part of the problem. Now, if you guys were to go and cut in here, we could sort of cut you guys off. Let's just move in and try and slow some of you guys down. Stop you from spreading out, if that's at all possible. You guys are trying to hold all of this land over here, so we might be able to sneak a few units in behind you and do something there. Let's get you guys in over there as well. You're going to move through the 7 divisions, which is not ideal. Let's move you in that way. Yeah, we are losing a lot of ground down here. There are German troops in amongst those as well, so they've got a fair few divisions. Once I can break through Italy's defensive lines, we can probably push in with some other units to help down there. We're actually going to take Genoa here. What about if you guys help and you guys help? Because you don't like you doing an awful lot. 78. No. So we're just not being able to win any of these battles against Italy. If I had a bit more production and I had more artillery, it'd make everything so much easier for me. But at the moment, it's just not. We've actually lost some units there. They're stuck in a pocket, which I probably can't get out. So that was unfortunate. I don't know how the Germans got behind us. Again, though, if our front line gets smaller, it does make life easier. Not easier when you die. You aren't going to get out of there. South Africa want to send us 2 divisions. It's not great. We should have some spare divisions now, actually. Let's go and find all of our units that are unassigned. So, oh, I've got to hold shift when you click the first one, haven't you? Let's get that remembered. So you, even if I've got unassigned troops in other theatres, which I probably don't have now, I just, do you know what? Let's go ahead and just add you to that army and tell you to get on, is it control and right click? Control and click. Let's assign you to that line. All of your divisions actually should be on that line. And, yeah, let's go back in here. And we want to click on theatre, because then that will show us all the ones that are unassigned. And there's quite a few of them. So let's go ahead and get all of you guys who aren't assigned. You're going to join this army, and you're going to get on that line there. There we go. Bring some more units in. Hopefully that will help things out a little bit. So, I'm not sure. My support equipment production is still pretty bad. I guess France is probably the same as well, although France's support equipment is probably limited to white flags. We don't seem to be gaining or losing on tank divisions as far as they're going. This line is getting bigger over here, which I really, really don't like. There's a battle over here that we are winning, but I don't know what battle that is. Needs to be several battles going on over here that I can't quite tell. Let's go ahead and tell you guys to just sort of push forwards. Belgium has capitulated. Well, we were expecting that to happen, weren't we? Not too sure why you're losing this so heavily here. But do you know what? If you guys actually just cut into here and then cut these guys off, we can sort of pocket a few of them. Another research slot is available. I guess we could get this, although we are ahead of time, but we really need to start getting our construction sorted out. I really don't like taking techs ahead of time. I actually find in some cases the tech in games like this is a little bit daft, because what you're essentially doing is you're penalised so heavily for taking tech ahead of time, and you're often given bonuses for taking tech if you're behind the time, that everybody basically techs up at the same pace. And I understand that that's by design, because you don't want to be in a position where somebody ends up getting so far ahead in tech that they're overpowered. But it leaves you in a sort of a situation where you're thinking, well, you might as well remove tech from the game and just have everybody tech up automatically at the same rate. Because actually researching the tech is pointless at that point. Yes. Oh, well, they've got so many troops down here. I wonder if we can get this cavalry in behind them and try and sort of loop around and cut them off. Might be able to starve them out. It's probably unlikely, but I'll give it a go. So, Africa. We have cut them off down here, actually, which I'm quite pleased about. So let's go ahead and take some of these units. And we'll start to sort of move in around behind them if we can. Not too sure what they've got down here. You're not going to move into there. We want to engage you. Yeah, we just don't have enough units to deal at the moment. That's the problem. What about the rest of things down here? How's this going? See, Germany's managed to push another unit in down there. I thought I had more down there, but apparently I do not. So you're moving into there, are you? Okay, that's fine. Naval battle over here. We lost one plane, but we took out a lot of Italian ships. That's always really nice to happen. So how are things going over here? We're still not pushing in. They've only got 2 divisions now in the mountains, but pushing into the mountains is like such a difficult thing to do. They don't have a mountain division in there anymore, though. If we could just get in there, we might be fine. Right, you guys can possibly start to push in here now. Very much like to get rid of the German presence from this area and push them back. Now we'll have a few more units going in there. That'll actually help things out quite a lot. How are things going on up here? See, our borders are much smaller now. We've still got a couple of units that are stuck in there. I don't think I'm ever going to get those out. We need to delete that border. But yeah, those units are pretty much stuck. I don't think they're ever going to get out of there. Which is a shame. I'm surprised Germany are pushing in quite so well here. They do have a tank division. I guess we could try and push back against it. But again, we're short on equipment. We don't have enough tanks to fill the regiments right now. We can almost reform our government. So we'll have to have a look and see what we need to do there. There we go. There it is. So we're on service by requirement and free trade. We're on war economy as well. I don't think we can go any better than war economy. Total mobilization. Consumer goods factory is 15. Consumer goods factory is 10. Recruitable population is minus 3%. But military factory construction speed is plus 30%. Conversion costs are cheaper. Not too bothered about the conversion costs, to be honest. What have we got here? Division attack, minus 8%. Or, sorry, division attrition, minus 8%. Well, that could be useful. I mean, let's be honest, we don't have an awful lot of equipment, so losing it all during attrition is not helping out. So we'll try and stop that happening. French have got a lot of units up here. They're just not doing an awful lot. So Chamberlain passes away. Prime Minister Neville Chamberlain has fallen ill recently, despite previously generally having been healthy for his age. After being diagnosed with bowel cancer, increased pain and lost sleep has led him to resign from his post. Chamberlain still enjoys strong popular support and steps down only as a last resort, realising he will not live to return to work. The question remains who will take up the torch after this great statesman and lead Britain through the dark times that may still lie ahead of us. So it's either Winston Churchill or Lord Halifax. Well, we want Churchill, of course we do. So we shall carry on. Come on, why don't we have any spare factories yet? We are working on them. And there are still some more that we can get, so we will get a few more queued up. More military factories we can get, the better. We've got another naval battle over here. We lost one plane to take out 2 German ships, which is always good. Yeah, the lowlands are really getting pushed back up here now. You guys are still on push the line, and I think I want you to stop right now and just go defensive. We'll just try and hold them back. Concentrate on trying to keep Spain at bay and push Italy out, actually. It's always the same, though, I find. If I play a game and don't record it, I do amazingly well. And I got to the point where I'd taken out Spain, taken out Italy, took out most of Germany. I mean, I literally had taken Berlin, and I was on my way to taking Vienna. And I'm like, oh my god, I wish I'd have recorded this game. So I started the game again and recorded it, and now I'm doing absolutely terrible in comparison to how I did that last time, which is, pretty standard, really. Got a new tech we can choose. Let us go. Actually, let's get the upgraded field hospitals. It's not really the men we're losing, is it? We've already got the upgraded maintenance company. Yeah, we'll get the upgraded field hospitals then. As field hospitals stop you losing men, maintenance companies help stop you losing equipment. Yeah, the Spanish are really pushing in hard over here. I don't suppose for 1 minute that the USA would be willing to join the faction. -27. We have a war that they may be drawn into. Well, that is kind of the point, if I'm honest. Getting you into the war just to help out with stuff, you know? So all of the stuff that we're currently producing, the problem is at the moment we just don't have the supplies. And we have missing resources in the form of oil once more. Well, luckily America's still trading with us pretty heavily, so at least that helps that out. Are we actually managing to get any of these guys trapped in up here? I mean, they've got a few divisions, but they are starving, so it was certainly very daft of them to overextend that much. That has really helped things out, and we are actually starting... You guys get down there, move in that way. I'm going to start to... Oh, France are doing it for us. Good lad. France are doing something useful. What is this? Occupation problems again. Now, one of the units over here somewhere is a... can I see what unit is here? One of you guys. I would like you, just one of you, to go over and sit... In fact, the purple one it should be. Because you're the one that's actually part of the suppression team, and you go back in there. That's fine. Okay, insufficient resources, which is now steel. Again, we'll trade with the US because they love us to pieces. Okay, so now that's sorted. How are things going in Italy? I'm kind of ignoring Spain at the moment, and I really shouldn't be. But there's no sort of pushes going on in here at all. So we've got 3 different armies down here, and we've got 3 different fronts, and none of them are making any difference whatsoever. So this is the Italian front. Let's go ahead and delete your orders. And you are going to have a new front line, which is literally just going to be this side of the river. We'll then take the Spanish front, which isn't on the Spanish front anymore. And you guys are going to have a... Well, Italy aren't really pushing, are they? You're the first reserves. Let's get the Spanish front on the Spanish front. How about that? So this is the Spanish front. You're going to have a new front line. And you are going to go down here. And you're also going to have an attack order. Which is pretty much going to be the same as the existing one. Let's move you down there. And then we've got the first reserves. And we are going to delete your orders. And you're going to have a new front line. And your front line are going to be these... That was the wrong button because I left-clicked and I wanted to right-click. You are going to be on these 2 tiles. This side of the river. And we'll put you on balanced. We'll also put the Italian front on balanced as well. I don't want to attack too aggressively here. So hopefully they're not going to try and attack. They do seem to be just sitting quietly, but we are shuffling some units around, so we'll have to keep our eye on how things go over there. In terms of the German front, well, there's not an awful lot going on. We could try and sneak in behind them, but they've got a lot of units. They can really spread out and hold their line. Right, Italy's not pushing, which is fantastic. All of you guys now need to be sort of moving back over here. Well, let's just go ahead and get you back on that line for a start. Because that'll certainly help out. Now then, can we go in here? It's only in desert and it's mountaineers, so they're probably not going to be that useful up there. We try and drive in with that cavalry as well. And just try and move some units in where we can and just sort of probe for weak spots on the border. So hopefully that'll help out. Now then, Italy, you are currently behaving yourself. That is fine. Oh, what's going on here? United Kingdom has called Siam as an ally in the war, so that is fine. Because Japan has declared war on them. Brilliant. Italy's laying claim to Greek territory. Well, that's fine. If they want to split up their front line even more, I'm okay with that. Air rearmament time. What do we want here? Air experience, some fighter models, bombers. Get some free tech or reduced tech on the fighters, I suppose. Germany are really carving a path in up here. How's production going? Support equipment is still terrible. Artillery and tanks are still terrible. Everything's terrible. Destroyers for bases agreement. Okay, so this is something that you get with America after you complete the Tizard mission, I believe. So we can basically... having taken a stance against the Germans, the US appear interested in ensuring Britain stands strong against the German threat. They are, however, also concerned with maintaining their own naval presence in the Atlantic. In exchange for several of our naval bases, they will supply our nation with destroyer ships. These ships have been in reserve, but accepting them will strengthen the military bonds between our nations, may be a wise decision. So, basically, we will gain... Canada will gain 6 American destroyers. So we'll go ahead and do that, and it will improve their opinion of us. Or improve the US's opinion of us. They still won't join the faction, though, which is problematic. They will eventually. And there is another plane done. So what do we want? Is there any improvements we can make? We can get improved artillery, even though we're very short on artillery. Let's go and improve the artillery that we have. Because it doesn't require a change of production, it's only a minor update. Now, Italy is attacking here, but we are winning the battle, so I'm not too fussed about that. So I want the Spanish front, who are still not in position yet. That's the fall of Paris. Really? They're into Paris already? I wasn't aware they'd got that far down. Is there any way we can sort of get in? Why are we saying we've only got 15 divisions on that line? All the German front, because we've got like a strange other line over here. Germany just has too many units, that's the problem. Didn't have this issue last time. My front lines are so thin. Getting Paris back is not going to be easy. Let's go see if we can attack into there and see what happens. What do we need now? We're short on something. Aluminium, again, of course. Well, guess we get some of that from France, although they'll probably end up losing it all if they keep losing all of their territory. How's the push going over here? See, why are you guys just sitting around? Why don't you move in and attack and do something? I think it's what happens. You give an attack order, and if you tell them to attack an army, and that army gets killed before they get there, they just stop. They don't carry on moving into that province. They just stop moving because they assume, well, my order's no longer valid. There's nothing there to attack. And that's a real pain when that happens. Now, I could try and attack into these, but they do have tanks, so doing that might be a little bit risky. So we'll leave that there. France want to send us 5 divisions. No, keep your own troops, France. Less micromanagement for me. We certainly don't seem to be making much of a push down here on the Spanish front. Most of these troops aren't mine anyway. And again, they've got very little to no supply. Improved infantry equipment, well, that will help slightly. You're the Spanish front. Let's get you to try and push. What else have we got down here? We've got the Spanish front and we've got you. You're just sitting there. Yeah, they're really pushing hard. But that said, our Italian front looks like it might have a chance of doing something over here. Let's go ahead and draw in an offensive line. And you've got a yellow... you've got a check mark, so let's go ahead and get you to push. And let's take the first reserves, and let's at least try and push up to the river. And you've got a check mark, so let's tell you to push. Okay, so we've got a couple of research slots now. Let's go and get some decryption. Give us a little bit more information about how many divisions the enemy has on a particular tile. And is there anything else we could upgrade, really? Guess we could go and get some more doctrine. What about here? We get support weapons. Upgrades for the equipment that we do not have. But this might actually allow us to... the death of Rudolf Hess. Deputy Führer Rudolf Hess was killed yesterday when a Royal Air Force intercepted the heavy fighter he was flying off the coast of Scotland. The exact nature of his mission remains unclear, although Hess was an accomplished pilot. He flew alone and his airplane does not appear to have been armed. His remains were recovered by British authorities, but the state funeral with an empty coffin has been scheduled in Berlin. Hitler was reported as being visibly distraught by the death of his old friend. What was going on there? Yeah, Spain are Germany are really, really pushing in here. I'm actually surprised. Like I said, the last time that I think what I'm going to do, and you're probably going to dislike this, I'm going to end this Let's Play for a couple of reasons. One, I'm just not doing very well at it, which is annoying because the last time I played this, this exact sort of scenario, I did far better than this. And I think partly it's because the patch came out, because the first time I did it was before the 1.1 patch, and they have fixed a lot of the AI's issues. I certainly know a lot more about the game than I did when I played that first playthrough, the first one on the channel that didn't go too well. And it's a shame because we're actually starting to, you know, gain some ground against Italy down here. I think one of the problems is I actually got involved in the war a little bit too early. Sometimes I'm too quick to jump to the aid of one of the other nations, and I end up fighting in a war before I've got my equipment built. And once you start fighting, you never get your equipment built because all of your equipment is basically replacing stuff that you're losing during combat. So you never actually end up with new... You never end up with new units because all of your equipment is constantly just replacing what you've got. And yes, you can prioritize your equipment to go to your units in training, but then your units on the battlefield aren't getting supplied and they ultimately fall down. So look at that, we're actually pushing down here now. Also, I can guarantee now that I'm going to be getting lots of people going, yeah, told you so, you should have done this, you should have done that, because every single person that watches somebody else play is an expert, and they like to tell you where you've gone wrong. I don't really care, you know, I play to sort of have fun. It does get annoying sometimes, though, because, to be honest, you really want to try concentrating on what you're doing when you're actually having to give a commentary, and when you're actually having to talk constantly for a couple of hours in a lot of cases, and you're also trying to talk about what you're doing, you're trying to think about what you're doing, you're trying to be entertaining at the same time, and it's quite a difficult thing to do. You know, I've recorded and uploaded almost 1,800 videos at this point over 4 years, and it's still something that I'm not particularly good at. So it's very, very easy, and I do it myself. I watch other players, I watch other Let's Players on YouTube. And I have watched other people play, and I see them make a mistake, and I see them miss something, or they do something that I wouldn't have done, or they do something that is so, like, face-palmingly bad. And I could go into the comments section and tell them how, you know, stupid they were, or how they made a mistake, or how it was wrong and they should do it this way. But at the end of the day, I know what it's like to be them. I know that it's easy to miss something. It can be right slap bang in the middle of the screen, and it's really, really obvious to somebody else who's just sitting at home watching. But when you're the one that's actually playing and concentrating on what you're talking about, then sometimes you miss things like that. I will probably come back to Hearts of Iron 4 at some point. Everything's a little bit hectic at the moment because I'm in the process of actually moving house, which is going to take place within the next week or so. So, as you can imagine, I've got quite a lot of equipment and stuff to move, and it's very, very hectic packing everything up, doing the actual move, getting settled in. You know, just getting into a position where I can start recording again. So there might be a little sort of break of content for a few days or a week or so. But yeah, I don't think I might be able to recover this campaign. I mean, it's quite possible that I could just grab all my troops, send them all home, just sit in the you know, in my homeland, and just basically build everyone up, get all my equipment sorted, and then go and attack Germany later on. But do you know what? I honestly just cannot be bothered. And when I get to a point with a game where I can't be bothered to play it, there's no point me doing it, because if I'm not enjoying playing it, then it comes across and you guys understand that I'm not enjoying playing it. So I think it's probably best if I just end it there. And that's not a knock on the game. I do absolutely love Hearts of Iron 4. I think it is a really, really good game. There are still a few bits and pieces with it that do need ironing out, but overall I do actually enjoy playing it, but I'm not really enjoying doing the Let's Play of it. So this was the second attempt at doing a Let's Play for Hearts of Iron, and you know, in one sense I wanted to keep it going because the Hearts of Iron videos, certainly at the moment, are some of my most viewed videos, but I'm not going to keep playing or recording a Let's Play that I'm not enjoying just for the sake of getting some views. So we'll have a look at what else we can do, but I think that that is it. Germany's taken Paris. France will definitely fall. I'm just so annoyed. I really, really wish I'd have still had the old save for the other game. I took Italy out first. I chased them all the way down to Palermo, completely got Italy to capitulate, got Italy completely out of Africa, then Spain attacked, got Spain to capitulate, managed to save both Belgium and the Netherlands, managed to take Berlin, and I was literally just pushing Vienna when I thought to myself, you know what? I wish I should have been recording this, and then I started again on patch 1.1, and this is what this is. So, a little bit unfortunate. I hope you've enjoyed watching the series thus far. Sorry once again that it has sort of ended and sort of fizzled out and not come to the conclusion that you guys were probably hoping for, but I'm sure we will be seeing Hearts of Iron 4 again. So, thanks a lot for watching, guys. I hope you have enjoyed this series. I'll see you next time, and until then, goodbye for now.